All right, after that long read through that we had in the previous video, now we're going to look at character creation. How do you make your Judicator? Unlike the previous 3 games, I do not have a specific character creation video for Mutant Elysium. However, if you watch any of those other 3 videos, the process is the same. We're going to cover this as kind of an overview, a little bit of a read through, just so you can see what each of the roles are. I think they're called roles, but we'll find out in a moment. And what is different about Elysium? Because what? Mutant Year Zero had mutant powers. Mutant Gen Lab Alpha had animal powers. And Mutant Megatron had robot modules. And, well, you're just generally a robot. What is different about pure strain humans? We will find out here in just a moment. The core values of #RPGate and any good tabletop group are escapism, not representation, entertainment over activism, and natural, organic inclusion, not forced diversity. Please follow that QR code or refer to the description below for the link to the charity we support, which is the Wounded Warrior Project. Thursdays and Saturdays, you can watch the Dirty Casuals on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth. Fridays and Sundays, you can watch the Friday Night Chill Stream and RPG Digest on our YouTube and Rumble channels. Please leave us a comment with your thoughts and experiences, and if you like our gaming content, please be sure to subscribe to Legion of Myth. Right, let's get that off screen, put that up there. There we go, Mutant Elysium. There's the cover again of the dude that Heathen Dog, for whatever reason, kicked off the ledge.
Yep.
Why he did that. Got to have your Wilhelm scream right there, too. Ah!
Dude, no, the what is it? Oh, man, which company? It's not Disney. Warner Brothers. They had the wah-ha-ha-hoo.
I don't remember that off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Whenever like Wile E. Coyote or whatever fell off a cliff, which happened a lot, he would go da-ha-ha-hoo, or something like that. I'd do that sound.
I just remember the holding up the signs.
Yeah.
All right, so in Mutant Elysium, you play a Judicator sent to represent your house while maintaining law and order in Elysium. What? Good luck with that. So what are the steps? The steps are choose your house. Then you choose your profession, your name, your appearance, your age.
Okay, this is all choosing. There's no rolling at this at all?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like character creation and all the other ones. Oh, you were talking about, because previously you rolled for mutant powers. No, because here you have context. That's the big thing in this one that's different. Where are the contexts?
It's not who you are, it's who you know.
Yeah. Reputation score, talent. Oh, I don't see it in here. That's weird. Well, we'll talk about context, so. Anyway. First thing you do is you choose your house. If you're Warburg, you're going to get a bonus. Oh, hold on. Let me do the character sheet. Where is it here? Small. I have to make sure that, is it a starting bonus or is it a total bonus? I guess it's going to tell me in a little bit. So your predisposition for Warburg is strength. Now, we'll find out in a moment if that means that you can start the game off with a higher number or if it's like Forbidden Lands where you can actually have a higher number. We'll find out in a bit. But Fortescue, which is your army, you'll have agility. Why? Because that's where rifles and pistols are utilized. Sure. Morningstar is wits. Oh, sorry. Morningstar's not wits. Morningstar's empathy. And Kilgore's wits. Empathy because they handle plays and productions and entertainment. And then Kilgore, because you'd think that would be the army one.
No, it's the science division.
It's the science one, and so they get wits. But it's Red and Kilgore, so every time I see it, I think it's the military one.
Oh no, just think Red Skull.
I don't know what that means.
Well, from the Captain America movie, he was the head of the Nazi science division.
Oh, okay.
That works.
Again, I don't watch that, so your job is to maintain law and order, but this can be achieved in different ways. You have different backgrounds and special skills. We'll look at what those are in a moment. There you go. Papers, please. That looks so close to the Air Force logo. Every time I see it, it's like, oh, Air Force. Wait, what? Adjudicator's authority. Now, there were comments made in the last video that might be addressed here. Let's find out. You are authorized to use violence if you deem it necessary when defending the Enclave's safety. You are authorized to seize and arrest an individual who is an obvious threat to the safety of the Enclave. In disputed cases, a procurator may decide. That was another thing I didn't talk about in the last episode was the councils. I forget, counselors, whatever they're called. You are authorized to question citizens that potentially have relevant information concerning the Enclave security.
Okay, so what I'm reading this is you can ask all the questions you want. You can detain anyone for questioning, but if you're going to make an arrest, that person either one better not matter, or two, you better literally have a smoking gun on camera.
Yes, even if you had to fabricate that smoking gun.
Yeah, but if you have a smoking gun on camera, you are now allowed to arrest whoever.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. Again, I didn't read it in the last video. I don't know what page it's on exactly, but it does talk about the higher up the hierarchy somebody is, the more you kind of have to play ball, and you might want to have somebody else make a decision. If it's somebody, again, if it's larceny, whatever, handle that how you want. If you felt like shooting the guy because larceny, whatever.
Did you find the money? Yeah. All right.
So you have you'll have your name, you have your appearance, a uniform. As a Judicator, you have to wear a uniform.
Sure. Makes
Tradition requires the uniform display the color of your house. That being said, you are free to modify your uniform to better suit your profession. That basically gives the player a little agency, I guess you'd say. But you will wear your uniform. And if you notice, people are constantly wearing their uniforms in these pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Age. If you remember how age works, this is what the age is for humans. 50 plus is old. That will give you more skills, less attributes. That's before. I'm not going to go through the entire step-by-step process again. I have 3 different videos on that. One for Mutant Year Zero, one for Mutant Mechatron, one for Mutant Gen Lab Alpha, and one of them, the Gen Lab Alpha one, already includes age.
All right, hang on. This is where it gets dumb. Young, you get 16 attribute points. Middle age, you get 15, and old, you get 14. Go back up to the age range again, which was in the page prior. There it is. 18 to 31 is considered young, and 31 to 50 is considered middle age. All right.
Okay.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Because if you go back in time and pluck out your 18-year-old self and put him right next to you and said you two have to fight, you would win 99 times out of 10.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
No,
your
I would not.
18-year-old self? No, you've got maybe at least a half inch and 20, 30 pounds on that kid. When you hit him, he's gonna go down. He's gonna fucking stay down.
I know why I wouldn't beat my 18-year-old self. And when I was 18, I was taking kung fu and I was actually fighting.
That's great.
I haven't done that in a long time.
It doesn't matter. Weight class means more than technique many of the times. Sorry, this real fight is how it works.
You cried about that last time and nobody agreed with you.
That's just the way it is, man. You know, that's why they have weight classes in professional fighting.
No, I get what you're saying in a weight class, but I'm talking like here with the attributes. It's a game. You set up a game so that it works, and you want the benefit for being young is you get less skill, more attributes. Usually, you put those into your physical. Because you can always argue, well, people don't get stupider as they get older. I get it, but you atrophy, so take it off your physical if you want to be pedantic about it. I don't care. But it's game balance. This is a game also. Judicator's duties: follow orders from commanding officers. So before we said your authority, right?
Yeah.
Now
you have commanding officers. Yeah.
Follow the orders from the commanding officer. This applies only to other Judicators. For example, you have no obligation to obey officers of the Deep Watch. We'll talk about what that is in 2 weeks. Unless you have been ordered to do so by your own commander. Protect the Enclave's order and safety. It's up to you to interpret what this means as long as it does not go against direct orders from your higher ranking officers. And it depends on which house you serve and which incident it is that will determine how much flexibility you have. Protect fellow patrol members. Uh-oh. Oh, you can't push your buddy off the cliff?
Well, you can, just don't get caught.
You have the right and obligation to protect other members of your patrol as long as it does not threaten the security of the Enclave. Be mindful of the interests of the dynasties. This is not a formal duty, but since all Judicators belong to the house, trying to achieve and maintain balance is an implicit duty that must be constantly juggled with your formal duties. I say this here, even though we talked about it in the last video, but to remind you, this game is a game of intrigue. All right, skills. Whoa, that is a different number.
8.
Wow. Yeah, before it was it 14, 12, and 10, I think it was, or was it 8, 10, and 12? I think it
I
was
don't
8, 10.
recall, but
I think it was.
I do know that
I think it was 8, 10, and
they're
12. Yeah.
going by threes here when usually they go by twos.
Yeah. Yeah. So there. Okay. So there's definitely you get a lot of skill for being old.
Yeah. But and the thing is, I mean, who would want to take young? That seems dumb. You get one more attribute point, but
Yeah.
you lose 3 skill points. That seems like a bad
Well,
trade.
6 if you want to, go all the way up to old. Yeah. That does seem like a bad trade this time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I don't see any other real benefit to age. Is there anything age? Game terms. Your choice of age affects your starting attribute skill. Oh, reputation and contacts.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Young dudes.
being young, it seems dumb because I'm sure reputation and contacts also is an age-related thing,
Yeah.
better the older you get. So, I would definitely give up 1 attribute point to get 3 skill points, better reputation, better faction loyalty, do all that stuff. That seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so skills. You have a 13 special. We'll get to in a moment. I want to see if it says here skills can range from 0 to 5. You gain general skill. Oh, not skills. Where's attributes? How much damage? Starting scores. When you create a character, you distribute number. Okay, you must use no less than 2, no more than 4. Okay, so what it is, that special one, you can have between 2 and 4, except for if you're a Warburg, you can have a 5 in strength.
Okay, so you have a higher cap, but you don't start off with an extra point.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Skills, talents. Mutant Elysium has a whole new and different set of talents, and we're going to look at those next week. Biomechatronics. This was new to me when I read this. What? This is something we haven't come across yet. The researchers in Elysium 1 have over the years developed the knowledge and skill to graft mechanical implants to the human body.
Sweet.
These implants can make a human being stronger and more resilient. Unfortunately, biomechatronics have been shown to have severe side effects on both body and mind, typically referred to as machine fever. What was it called in Shadowrun? For cyberpsychosis or something?
Oh no, that wasn't Shadowrun. That was
Cyberpunk?
Yeah, Cyberpunk, and there was a movie, Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Members of the houses rarely use such implants. Oh, they are used primarily by the Judicators. Hey, there you go. That gives you license in order to carry out their dangerous, often violent work. Biomechatronics have gradually become a symbol of status within the Enclave.
Oh my God. This is it. First, the first paragraph, it says, "Oh yeah, there's all kinds of physical and mental detriments to having this, but it's in vogue with those people in power." Great. So everyone in power is now basically lead and mercury poisoning themselves, and society's going to be really better from that because historically, it's been great. No.
I liken it to nowadays with all the weirdos out there with pink hair, gauges in their ears, nose rings, tattoos all over their face and hands. Things that we would shun, that normal people would shun, but it's becoming commonplace now. Well, guess what? We might shun having all these weird biomechatronics that, turn you crazy. But hey, it looks cool, man. So in recent years, some younger members of the houses have begun to acquire small and discrete biomechatronic implants, wow, I say plants, which are seen as avant-garde within younger circles, but often scoffed by older nobles. See, that's us. We're like, don't do it.
So except these are the 18 studies. It's going to make you insane, right? Don't care. It's cool. You're an idiot.
You can choose.
Just like if you have giant gauges in your ears that are this big, and if you take them out for the rest of your life, you're going to have a floppy hole in your ear. Dude, you're just stupid. You're just dumb.
You can choose a discrete implant during character creation, but you must choose the talent biomechatronic. And again, we'll cover that next week. Read more about biomechatronics and how they work in 9. And I might actually spend 1 extra week, depending on Elysium, to talk more about the biomechatronics. We'll see how big it is, because it's not going to fit into next week. Contacts. You're a Judicator, but you're also a member of a powerful dynasty. As a human in Mutant Elysium, your most important asset is the influence wielded by your contacts that can help you in large and small ways. These are your henchmen, right? Character creation. You get 1 or more contacts. These are explained in more detail in Chapter 5. You cannot have the same contacts as another player.
Oh, this is the special one. Okay.
Well, again, it does. Well, there's also the special skill, but this is the same as starting mutations and so forth. You're supposed to start differently. So. You must agree who gets which contacts or let chance decide. How many contacts you get is determined by your age. Oh, look, one gets one, old gets three. All right. You can gain new contacts during gameplay. That makes sense.
Probably with experience, just like everything else.
Oh, what is this?
Starting reputation psionic, -2. I get it. You don't trust people who can read people's minds. You can't trust them. Can't.
Psionics. Let's talk about that. Through genetic engineering, Elysium scientists can trigger paranormal mental abilities in humans. Crazy. Term psionic mutations, research of these abilities is extremely restricted. No, you cannot go to a chop shop and get this done.
No.
You have to show your card. It has to be approved. It has to be signed in triplicate by somebody much higher than you. And if you're found out, it's just like everything there. You can't grow a tomato plant without it being approved. Do you think you're going to run around and just get psionics?
No.
Term psionic mutations. Well, it's mutation. Do you want one now? Research of these abilities is extremely... Okay, I said that. For in many cases, subjects turn their newfound abilities against the researchers or use them for their own gain.
No kidding.
Right.
Really? What a shocker. I never saw that coming. Oh, how much more sarcasm do you want me to use?
None, because all psionics must be registered and monitored regularly. There are a handful of psionics among the Judicators who are treated with great suspicion by their peers. That's what you want. You want to be under even more suspicion.
Yeah, exactly. That's an idiot's game. If you're playing a Judicator, do not get psionics. You're just setting yourself up as the easy fall guy for another player character's bad machinations. You're going to take the fall for it, and you're a dirty psionic, so no one's going to look as hard. So there you go.
So you can only use psionics if you have access to Mutant Year Zero, and you will not get any contacts, and all of your reputation will be lowered. So you ready for your psionic power?
Definitely not worth it. No.
Better be good.
No, there is no psionic power that offsets all of those negatives. There isn't one. Unless it's completely take over every mind in the entire complex and make them worship me. I'll take it.
And then in that case, you just ended the
exactly. I ended the game with a snap of my fingers or a blink of my eye, or if this is bewitched, a twitch of my nose, whatever, and it's done. Right? That is the only psionic power that'd be worth all of that crap. I don't know why they have it in here. It's a troll. It's a troll. It's not a Kevin Zambita expert troll, but it's a troll.
Elysium 1 is restricted to, or is a strict hierarchical society. The houses control the workers, and within these two groups, there are different levels of power, prestige, and access. Formally, Enclave residents are divided into security classes, but equally important is your informal position and reputation. This is measured by a value called reputation, very similar to the whole hierarchy thing before. Young, middle-aged, old.
You start off with all this.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, what was it? The hierarchy in Mutant Mechatron and Mutant Gen Lab Alpha. It's similar to that. And then starting reputation.
Say not being dumb and you're middle age, and that's what, 3? What's the starting? The base.
Your middle age is 4.
4. Okay, 4. Plus you're a Judicator.
Well, this I can't talk. These are the rules.
Oh, okay. So let's say you were an officer, a middle-aged officer. You now have a 6 reputation. That's great.
All right. By the way, the character I was going to make for Mutant Elysium, and I think I still have the stats written down somewhere because I was making 4 characters, one from each of the 4 games. And I obviously I've got videos on the other 3, was a Fortescue officer. I don't remember anything else about her, though. All residents of Elysium 1 are divided into security classes, which determine the parts of the Enclave they have access to. Security classes are identified with Roman numerals, and I think we already showed that.
Yeah, we saw 4.
Yeah, you guys are 4. Relationship to NPCs, this is just like every other Free League game. Now, family. The people in the Enclave are not infertile like Arc mutants in Year Zero. Woohoo! You can make babies.
Real humans, yeah.
Children are born and raised in Elysium 1, but live under strict regulation of authority. The sons and daughters of the houses are drilled from birth, conditioning them to hold a specific set of values. The upbringing of the worker is simple and harsh. They are to be prepared for a long life of hardship in the depths. The number of children that can be born in Elysium 1 is limited. Oh, yeah, you have to be approved to have a baby.
Well, no, that makes sense. You're literally underground. There's only so much air. There's only so much food. There's only so much water. I get it.
The consortium applies strict population control in order to prevent overload that may thin resources of the Enclave. A license to have children is not easy to come by, so not everyone gets a chance. Those seeking such a license will do their utmost for the good of the Enclave in order to prove themselves worthy. If you have more than you're allowed to have, if you do the China thing, the one baby policy, but decide to have two, they take that baby away and give it to somebody else. And I'm not making that up. That's actually written in the book.
Okay, cool.
Big dream. It's just like making a character in all the other games. Changes to relationships and dreams can happen as you play. Again, somebody's in uniform there. Encumbrance. Living. If you're mad that I'm skipping this stuff, it's because we covered it in previous videos, and we still have to look at the actual roles. E-packs. This is new. Energy weapons and other devices that require electricity are charged with E-packs. These are separate artifacts as described in Chapter 9. Guess who else will like your E-pack?
Oh, a robot would love it, I imagine.
Love it. Absolutely. So, your home.
Oh my God, it's Energon. Yay.
As a scion of a noble dynasty and a Judicator, you're entitled to a simple dwelling either in the high quarter of the town or further down in the Enclave if you prefer, weirdo. The accommodation is a small apartment, usually with only one room. Describe your residence with a few short words on the character sheet. There's one reason why you might want to be further away. Takes them longer to get to you.
Oh, when you're finally targeted. No. Because making a character in this game is stupid easy. You want to make your character a survivor? You have a high reputation. That's number one so far. A high reputation. Get it. I want to play an old man. Good. He's going to be respected in a lot of ways, in a lot of areas. It'll keep you alive longer. People will have more trouble pinning shit on you, and you'll have an easier time pinning stuff on them. Do that. Be a survivor. I want to be a winner. Well, winners sometimes die before they win. All right. You want to be a survivor? Get your reputation up.
There's a total of 24 Judicator patrols. They're divided into two shifts, Alpha and Beta. Each patrol has a designation. This is just labeling your patrol. I wanted to mention the 24 patrol part. And you can have a nickname if you want. I think you should earn it myself. But Judicator ranks. There are around 100 Judicators in Elysium 1, divided into 24 patrols, assigned into two shifts with 12 patrols each. Judicators are divided into the following ranks. Aspirant, a new recruit. Usually become a commissar after 1 year's service. Commissar, these form the bulk of the Judicators. Characters are usually commissars. That means you've been doing this a year.
Okay.
I don't know if I would do that. I might start you all out as aspirants.
Or at the end of being an aspirant, like you're at the end of your first year.
My rationale for this would be because you haven't played the game before. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I would want, because there'd be a lot of assumptions that have to be made. Anyway, that's just, who knows? I don't know if I'd do that. But Chief Inspector, Commander of a shift. So this is your boss. And Superintendent, Captain. Commander of all Judicators.
That's the Superintendent, the Chief of Police, basically.
Every Judicator patrol has a patrol leader. Who is that going to be? The patrol leader does not actually have the power to impose orders on his fellow patrol members. Why are you patrol leader then? As this would disturb the delicate balance between the houses, even within a single patrol. That being said, as patrol leader, you have the right to settle disputes between other members of the patrol. This position also has a number of other in-game features. You make the reports. Sure. So
you write it however you want to write it. That's how I remember it.
As a patrol leader, you do not need to come up with a fully comprehensive report. All you need to do is specify one of the PCs you want to highlight as being particularly active and competent. Basically, you're picking one dude is awesome, one dude is eh. And that goes, who's the commie?
And one dude is a traitor.
Yeah, who's the traitor? Voting for patrol leader. Patrol leaders are appointed by the players themselves through a secret vote. Have the vote at the beginning of the first session. Do so again after each session once you've completed an incident. Remember, I think there are 11. Don't quote me on that number, but I think 10, 11, whatever. So you'll be the leader until an incident is resolved. Remember, you can fail. Mm-hmm. Let me rephrase it. It's still resolved even if you fail, because that just means that the incident happens and whatever the result of that is. You can midline it, where you could call it diplomacy. You could call it, well, we partially stopped it. It depends on what the incident is. Obviously, if it's trying to flood the place, on, off, well, we only flooded a few floors, right? If it's a diplomatic thing, it could be a compromise, whatever. But After that incident is done, you vote for a new patrol leader.
Could be the same person.
It could absolutely be the same
Mhm.
person. In case of a tie, the dispute is settled by the patrol leader, so the current one.
Mhm.
So if you're tied with somebody else, guess who you're voting for?
Vote for me.
Double agent.
Uh-oh.
During the Guardians of the Fall campaign described in Chapter 10, you and other players will be sent to resolve various incidences occurring in Elysium 1. These incidences do not happen by chance. There are, with few exceptions, triggered by the houses themselves in their struggle to either expand their influence or sabotage their rivals' attempts at the same. The planning of incidences is carried out by you and the other players as representatives of your house during the strategic turns. I really wish this portion would have been in the information about the game, not in the character creation. This means that you'll occasionally be sent to solve an incident that you, plotting on behalf of your house, are responsible for staging in the first place. Welcome to paranoia. This also puts a burden on your character because it is in your character's interest that the patrol mission fails. All right, Burke. Get that alien home.
Smuggle in the bellies of little girls. There you go. No, this is fine. This is fine. I mean, this happens a lot in literature and TV shows and movies where, you know, the police chief is personally taking charge of this thing because he personally murdered those people and he wants to personally make sure he's not caught. Yeah, I get it.
Each time your characters are sent to do an incident, one of you will be the secret double agent. And the reason you'll be the secret double agent is because it's based on the house. Either you're trying to stop something, as I said before, or you're trying to do something. So as a double agent, and every character will have the opportunity to do this a couple of times.
Yeah. Everyone's a double agent.
Yeah, at some point, absolutely. As a double agent, you need to be very subtle. If it becomes obvious that you're trying to sabotage the patrol's efforts, you'll be reprimanded for failing your duty as adjudicator. The more this happens, the harsher the punishment will be.
Sure.
As a double agent, your efforts, and remember what the punishments are, right? Should I show you the cover of the book again?
Yeah, chef, you got it.
As a double agent, your efforts should be focused on causing the mission to fail, but in a manner that does not reveal you as the culprit. Most of the time, it's worse for your house to be exposed as the cause of an incident than for the incident to be stopped. Let me say that again. Most of the time, it is worse for your house to be exposed as the cause of the incident than for an incident to be stopped.
Right.
You now have your escape route to do what Heathen Dog wants to do and do the right thing. Screw that. Side with your house. Play the game properly.
Nope. Never. Burn the houses down. Free the people.
I'm not going to go into revealing the double agent and so forth. We really need to get to the what do you call it? The actual classes. Notice this game is much more dense than the other ones.
Yes, yeah. We haven't even gotten to the roles yet.
Yeah. Misconduct. Judicators who have been revealed as double agents who otherwise failed to fulfill their duties are punished for misconduct. So let's see what happens when you first infraction. A fine of half the PC's credits rounded up. PC's reputation scores reduced one step. Oh, by the way, yeah, reputation in this game goes up and down faster than army rank. Like it's
like Navy rank.
Yeah, like there you go. Like it goes up and down like Navy. I don't know if the Navy still does that.
I don't know, but when we were in, I mean, it took the Air Force is pretty rigid. It takes 3 years minus 6 months in some cases to make E3, right?
4.
But
E4,
E4,
yeah.
sorry, E4. But on a boat, you could go out for an 8-month tour as an E1, come back as an E5, and no one's batting an eye.
You could go out as an E1, come back as an E1, but through the time made E2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3,
and then
2.
got busted back down. Yeah.
But second infraction, a fine of all of the PC's credit and 1 week of hard labor in the deep.
Uh-oh.
The PC's reputation is reduced by 2 steps. The house loses 1 point of control. That is the out of character aspect of the game, which we'll cover in a couple weeks. Third infraction, permanent banishment to the catacombs.
Oh.
Have a nice day. Make a new character. Time to create a new character. Oh, yes, it says right there. Time to create a new character. The house loses 1 point of control. By the way, there are not a lot of control points. It isn't like 50 or 100 control points. If I remember correctly, it's either 2 or 4.
Yep. Now, the cool thing is, if you wanted to play the system, the long game, what you do is you start off as, say, I don't know, House Warburg, and you screw that house over through incompetence. You are shunned to the catacombs. They lose a control point, and then you choose the house. Your next character chooses the house that hates them, and now it's going to be easier to screw them over in your real character. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. No,
I
everyone's gonna hate
absolutely
you.
despise this paragraph.
Everyone's gonna hate you. Don't do that.
Go ahead and you read this because I hate this paragraph with a passion.
Conflicts in the group. There is a risk that the system for voting for the double agent can lead to no shit. Or worse, between the players themselves. No kidding, because, humans are humans. Role playing is usually about collaborating. Yeah, man. If this mechanism is a poor fit for your group, like any of them, sure, feel free to discard it. Oh, thanks. The game and the campaign will work fine without it. So what? Lose the double agent mechanic?
No. This is a patrol leader.
Oh, lose patrol leader? No. Patrol leader is great. You just got to fit it in the right hole. A patrol leader's job.
Yeah, that's weird. It does say double. You don't vote for a double agent. Vote for a patrol leader.
Yeah, this is at least the second problem with wording in the book. But the patrol leader is the heavy for the game master. Let me explain. Usually when there's inter-party conflict, the game master has to step out of character and say, whoa, Jimmy, Billy, calm the hell down. It's a game. No, you have a patrol leader to be the heavy now. You have a patrol leader to be the bad guy. You as the game master can keep hands off. It's a patrol leader's job to fix inter-party conflict. Do it. I love it.
My problem with this is it's integral to the game. I know it says you don't need it. Then why even have it in the game if you don't need it? I don't like it. If your party can't handle this, then this isn't a game for you. I've heard people complain about paranoia like this too. Or we've complained about Battlelords of the 23rd century. You don't have a Fentari and an Eridani in the same group.
Right. You can't. Because the lore of the game completely removes that from the scenario.
Now, I really just, again, grow up and learn to roleplay. If you can't handle this, all right, developing your character is just typical. It's the same stuff for gaining XP. Let's look at the roles. Here's the sheet. Looks very similar to everything else, right? Every other one we've seen before. I got your name, got your attributes over here, didn't fill in the dots, whatever. Injuries, same injuries and conditions as before. Let's see. Let's look at the skills. Endure, force, might, sneak, move, shoot, scout, comprehend, know the zone. I find this one funny. It says know the zone again. Like Mutant Year Zero. You're not out in the zone yet, but it does the same thing. It's, know what you're dealing with inside the enclave. Sense of motion, manipulate, heal. So it's all normal stuff. We're back to normal stuff. Oof. Gear, contacts, we'll look at that in a little bit. And your items. All work the same. If you've looked at any of those other 3 videos that we have before this one, all the same. People I've met, those might be a little bit more important here. The patrol, they've named it Alpha 4. The patrol leader is Douglas Fortescue, one of the characters, obviously. And Alpha 4 is nicknamed the Wolves. And your Den. I wish it wouldn't say Den. Den really gives a Mutant Year Zero vibe to it instead of a mutant.
Like your house, your pad, your whatever.
Yeah, I think it was called an alcove here or something, but either way, yeah. All right, you ready to look at the real characters now?
Yes, I'm surprised it took us 30 minutes to get here.
Again, but this game has so many differences and things that have to be looked at that are unfortunately different from the other ones, but still play out the same. Investigator.
No. First, start off with the only role that matters, officer. It's the only one that matters.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's suspense, man. Suspense.
All right.
Investigator.
Look at the jabronis first.
You have wits and investigate. And investigate is the same thing as we saw in, we'll look at it in a minute here. Well, actually, no, we'll look at it next week specifically. But it's, I forget, I think it is called investigate, where you can look at an area, roll, and you can ask questions of the game master. Say, hey, what happened here? Depending on how many successes you get. Talents, intuition, many faces, well connected. Again, we will look at those next week. So, yep, I'm going to keep you guys in suspense. And relationship to NPCs. These are all just examples. You don't have to do it. You start with a D6 credits. Hey, we have a money system here now.
Sweet. Where money isn't also food.
Where money is. No, they're bullets. They're bullets before.
Or bullets. Yeah.
All right, there's your officer.
Yep. The only one that matters.
Skill is command. Command is a pretty neat skill because if you roll, say, if Heathen Dog gives a command and successfully or gets one or more successes, that transfers over if the person follows that command. So I get the however many successes you get, I get bonus. Get commander, feared enemy, and icy voice. And for the character I was doing, I think I took commander. And again, we will look at those next week. Next role, the procurator. Now, this is actually a more important one than people give it credit for. Elysium is a society founded on laws and rights. Certainly, the laws are written by and for the great dynasties. Even so, without rules and regulations to keep these powerful houses in check, the enclave would surely collapse. You understand the law inside and out. You know where the loopholes and contradictions exist, and you can turn every paragraph to your advantage. You're a procurator. And by a procurator. And by the way, yeah, prosecute. We'll look at that next week. That is I like this skill. It's not really aptly named though. Because I'm sure, what do you think that prosecute skill does?
Well, prosecute is, I imagine, would be something like put somebody on trial. I mean, because that's what the word means. But for this game, I'm probably going to think it's more pin the deed on the donkey type thing, where like blame someone for something. I imagine it's something.
It should have been called lawyer. That's what it should have been called. Or something to, I mean, technically that is prosecuting because you're prosecuting a case.
Sure.
But most people, when they see prosecute, they think exactly what you did, which is what I did as well. Like judge, jury, executioner, you're guilty. No, this is how to use the legal system to get what you want.
Mm.
And this is good for a patrol to have.
Sure.
You can be
obviously not as important as the officer, but definitely important.
You can be a defender, a public servant, or a pettifogger. Cloud that judgment.
Pettifogger.
And you're rich. 2d6.
Wait, what does that even mean?
Pettifogger, if I remember correctly, it means to basically cloud judgment.
An inferior legal practitioner, especially one who deals with petty cases or employs dubious practices.
Dubious, okay. I understood the dubious practice. I didn't understand the rest of it, so I was partially wrong.
Okay. So he's a low class, kind of like Saul from Better Call Saul.
I haven't watched it.
He's a pettifogger because he's a low class lawyer and he constantly uses tricks to win because he's just not that good. I don't think I want to be him.
I was thinking the chicken from Futurama. The scholar. What do you get? Special skill is
it doesn't
enlighten.
Matter what you know.
And I don't know what enlighten does off the top of my head.
Oh, I'm gonna tell people the truth. No one cares about the truth. We've learned that about this game already.
We'll figure it out next week. Bearer of knowledge, crucial insight, and judge of character. I don't know what they do. I never even looked up the scholar before. So next week, when we go over skills, we'll cover all of this, right? And then there's the soldier. Somebody's got to do the shooting, right?
Yep. Always good to have one of those guys.
Press on is awesome if you're getting into combat. Essentially, if you're broken, you're not broken anymore.
Sweet. Rub some dirt on it, get back in the game type power?
Exactly.
All right.
Beefy. Oh, biomechatronic. Well, you want your...
There it is.
So it's the only one that can start the game with cybernetics.
Well, I thought
the rest can
one of the 4 houses, you can start with the one discrete one.
I have to look at how that works because normally you can only start with the one that your roll gives you. You can pick it up later, but you usually can only start with the ones your roll gives you.
Okay. All right.
And the technician, because again, he's in the Air Force apparently.
Yep.
His special skill is tinker, and he can fix things and make things work temporarily, so forth. Biomechatronic, he can get it as well. Field surgeon. So, and grease monkey, so you can fix people, fix cars, or hey, have some cybernetics. The cyber doc.
Sure.
And there you go. Those are the roles.
All right. So we have the main character in your group, which is the officer. Then we have the prerequisite soldier, because somebody needs shooting at some point. It's not going to be me. I'm not getting my hands dirty. I'm an officer. I don't get my hands dirty. I just take all the credit. Then you're gonna need what was it? You don't need a technician. That's bullshit. You
Yes,
need
you do.
no, you don't. No. You need the prosecutor to make sure the right person's blamed for whatever happened.
Oh, the procurator.
What's that?
The procurator.
Sure, whatever.
I can't even fucking say it.
Yeah, I don't care. It's prosecutor now. I mean,
Okay.
if they want to use dumb words, then I'll just make them up as I go along.
They're Victorian words.
Whatever, prosecutor. And then the fourth member of my group is whatever he wants to be. I don't care, as long as it's not a technician. No one cares. There you go. I've already made the perfect group. It's great.
And 3 incidences you are going to struggle with, big time.
No, someone else is going to. I'm the officer. Someone else is going to struggle.
The only one that I don't think is really necessary is the investigator, believe it or not. Now, helpful, absolutely. But the other ones, a scholar, I don't know enough about the scholar. But the technician, after looking at, flipping through a couple of those incidences, technician is absolutely beneficial.
Beneficial. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got for chat. Point Blank says, this game gives me Equilibrium vibes. I don't know if you've seen Equilibrium.
I have.
You have? Okay. It was basically Christian Bale's audition tape for Batman.
I like the Equilibrium for the most part. I don't like the premise of it, but as far as a movie goes, I liked it.
Yeah. All right. And then we got Coco says, my body, my right. Sorry, buddy. This is not the way the world works down here. Your body is not yours. It's your family's body. Your actions are not yours. They're your family's actions. Yep. Your future is not yours. It's only the family's future that matters.
If you break that law one time, they'll just take your kid away. You break it a second time, chances are you're going to be in the deep or in the catacombs. You break it a third time, you're going to get chucked somewhere.
Yeah, you're going to be chucked somewhere and never seen again. Rex says, do you randomly roll age? No. Apparently you choose everything.
Yeah, you pick.
Choose everything. There we go. Rex comes back in and says, so patrol leader just stops uses arguments. Yes. Yes. That's what I would use the patrol leader for if I was a smart GM. He is your thankless cop at your table. And the cool thing is the other players voted for him to do it for you. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And Nerdy Ogre says, I now have sarcasm dripping on my phone. Thanks, Heathen Dog. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Oh, and Ron says technician's good for bypassing security. Yep.
Also handling robots and drones.
Oh, the soldier can handle robots and drones just fine.
No, he cannot. And I know what you're thinking. No, he cannot.
Well, then what's he for? I want a soldier, not pile.
Okay. You have one soldier. There are 20 robots.
My soldier should be intrinsically better than all 20 robots put together. That's a soldier I want.
Okay. I don't know what game you're playing, but it's not this one. I mean, a soldier is actually tough. A soldier is really tough. I almost thought about making the character a soldier, but I ended the one I never made, but when I was putting him together, but I ended up going with officer because it had skills that I hadn't given the other characters that I wanted to have somebody with each type of skill set.
Okay. And that is it.
All right. Next week, we're going to go through the skill list. We're going to talk about talents. And we're going to talk about context, and we'll see. Probably, I'll probably jam in the cybernetics as well, because to be fair, contacts are just contacts, but we're going to have to look at how they work. There's a whole chapter on contacts, so it's not just going to be one of those things where it's like, you have contacts, figure it out. No, there are going to be ways to use them absolutely integral to the game. So we'll see how much time we have, and if we do have enough time after that, we'll look at the biomechatronics, because it is only in this game, and I need to point out things that are only in this game.
Okay.
I just don't know if I have time, and I definitely won't have time the week after. So we might have to expand Mutant Elysium out one extra week, but we'll see.
Dang it. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and share.